Are we the first one to kill the Lyric Graffiti e-bike? I think we might be the first people. All right, guys, so here it is. The Lyric Graffiti e-bike just got dropped off from the company, and we have 24 hours with it. So we're gonna take it to work, and we're gonna be riding it at night when we come back. We have a few overpasses to go up so we can see how the performance is of this bike. But real quick, let's roll a montage and get some close-up video of this electric bike. Let's get on this bike and go. But before we do, I saw my neighbor outside, so I want to see if he wants to ride this bike before we get on our way to work. All right, Steve, so this is your first time on an electric bike?
Yep.
All right.
We're going to take it down the street and see how it goes.
All right, man. Let me know what you think about this bike.
All right.
I know Steve is liking this bike. This is a very, very high performance bike to start off with from Lyric, and it is a badass bike. He's flying on this thing. Let's see what he says about it when he comes back. You was moving.
Yeah, man. This is pretty bad. This is bad right here. This is dope.
Pretty fast?
Yeah, man. Gets the job done, I think.
Yeah. I'm glad you got to ride it, man.
Yeah, me too. Appreciate it, man. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the new bikes coming out at the end of this year, so.
Right on.
Thanks for taking it for a spin. Get some action shots.
Right on.
No problem, man. Oh my God, this thing is fast. I had to put my phone up here just so you guys can get a true accurate reading, because this is a prototype. I want to let you guys know that right off the bat. So this doesn't read miles per hour. And you're not gonna get an egg rider with this bike either. You're gonna get a 4-inch display, which they didn't tell me where it's gonna go yet. It's probably gonna go like somewhere on the front right here, or it's probably gonna go down by the stem. I don't know exactly yet, but you're not gonna get an egg rider. So anyway, all I know is we're hauling ass. We're doing a 36 miles per hour on this bike, 37. The specs on this bike said you can get around 38 to 40 miles per hour. And I will say that will probably be with a secondary battery. So right now we only have one battery, but you can rock two. And both batteries are gonna be 52 volt, and they're gonna be 17.5 amp hours each. And they're suggesting around 40 to 50 miles of range with each battery. So that's saying you can get 80 to 100 miles if you have two batteries on here. To me personally, the way I ride, I'm never gonna see that range whatsoever. You're really only gonna get that range if you use pedal assist. But right now, since it's a prototype, we don't have pedal assist on this bike like whatsoever right now. Don't hit me, please. And I will say that the pickup speed on this bike from 0 to like 10, it's a little slow. I don't know if maybe they can tune the software, you know, the tune or whatever that's on this bike to maybe give it a little bit more power, but maybe that's just to save the gears in the motor, just so they don't have any, you know, issues with them, with people sending them back because they burned out the gears or something like that. But it's definitely a little bit slower than I would think from 0 to 10. But as soon as you go over 10 miles an hour, it's like you hit VTEC in a Honda or something like that. And it just wants to keep on going. It's very faster than 10 miles an hour. And this is a huge top speed. We're going faster than I thought we were gonna go on this bike. It's actually very impressive. And that can definitely be because we have a 2,500 watt rear motor in the back. And it has a peak of 4,700 watts. And I have nowhere to read any of this wattage or anything like that, so I don't know exactly how much wattage or amps we're pulling as we're moving. But I'll say that this bike feels very good. Now, it's not the softest bike I've ever been on because it is a hardtail. There is no suspension in the rear, but you do have suspension in the front, and it's working pretty well. I mean, it's not the best, but you do have a nice, comfortable seat. I'm not complaining about the seat whatsoever. This seat is badass. I like the fact that it has a hump in the back so you can kind of see, like, you know, how far you sit back, and you have kind of something to protect you in the back. And it's very comfortable. And a lot of people have been on this bike already. It's been passed around, it's been at conventions, it's been at the expos, it's been like everywhere. I feel like this bike would definitely be good to stay with traffic. So let's see if we can do that right now. It's gonna be as safe as possible, but hey, let's hang behind this Kia right here. I mean, we're staying with the flow of traffic pretty well, I think. This is not bad. And I can start pedaling to kind of be funny and stuff. People are honking. Where do you want me to go? I can't go anywhere. We're on the side of the road. So far, this bike feels so good. To me, it feels like a Super 73, like an S2, but it has more power than the RX, which is Super 73's top of the line e-bike that they sell for $3,500. And this bike undercuts that price. You can, oh, actually, I take that back. You can get this bike at the same price as a Super 73 RX with both batteries and have a ton of range, and you're gonna be going a lot faster. Super 73 RX, fastest bike Super 73 sells, and it only does about 31, maybe 32 miles an hour. This one is definitely getting a lot more, and I think it would give you more top speed if you had both batteries on there, which I would highly suggest getting both batteries. And the reason why I suggest getting both batteries, oh dang, don't take your hands off the damn, off the steering, holy crap, all right. Oh, we almost went down. The reason why I would say to get both of these batteries is because it's gonna come with a warranty. I don't know exactly what the warranty would be, but they're gonna run all the wires. They're gonna be both connected to each other. So you don't have to worry about any issues adding a second battery later on. That's what a lot of people do on these electric bikes that have a bunch of room in this frame, because if you really look, you got tons and tons of room in this frame. It's definitely worth the extra $500. 100% it is. We got to take it off-roading. We can't do a e-bike review without going off-roading. So we're taking a little detour before I go to my work, and we got to see how this is. Now, these aren't the best tires to be off-road with. They are pretty, more of a street tire, it looks like. But so many people have been on this bike, I'm not exactly sure if they're supposed to have more tread than what they have, because they definitely are worn down a lot. And I will say that, yeah, it's not the most comfortable bike I've ever been on. There's definitely been a lot more comfortable bikes out there. And they do have a higher version of this bike that does have suspension, and it's a lot more faster. This one's more of a streetable bike. So I know we looked at the bike a little bit, but you can just tell there's no suspension in here whatsoever. I do think it does save a lot of money from them not putting suspension on the bike. But if they did, I think this would have made this bike a little tiny bit more better. But yeah, having like a suspension right here, a suspension on the other side, you can have dual shocks. I think that would have been a pretty clean setup. It kind of reminds me of the power of the Aerial Rider Grizzly, but without the peeling out in the front wheel, because you don't have a motor in the front, you just have a really big motor in the back. That's exactly how I can compare it. Woo-wee! Oh my God, it is bumpy. How good these brakes work. Whoa. These brakes work hella good. We gotta try this on pavement and see how well it is. All right, so you guys wanna see like a 0 to 30 test? Let's test that out right now, and 1, 2, 3, go. Keep in mind we have no pedal assist on this, but the final version will have pedal assist. So we're throttle only. And 30 miles an hour, that's it. This thing picks up. This is a fantastic electric bike. Now, for me, I don't have a lot of hills in my area, so I don't really benefit from having all this extra power other than if I gotta cut through traffic or get out of the way of someone that's coming up behind me real quick, or I gotta ride, you know, somewhere where it's off terrain or something like that. Occasionally, I go up an overpass, which I'll find one that we can go up and kind of test it out. And then we'll really get to see how this bike does going up a hill. And we also have a variable regen. You might have been looking at this bike before I even mentioned it. And we have a throttle here. And you would think this is a throttle too, but this is actually regen. So yeah, I'm on a flat surface right now, but I can use a regen. And it's variable. Right now, I mean, I'm full out on the regen. And it slows me down until I hit like 15 miles an hour. Then it really just like kicks in 100%. So maybe they're gonna update that a little bit with some software tuning and everything like that. Because I feel like it can slow you down a little bit better. I have one on my Sur-Ron, or I did have it on a Sur-Ron. I took it off. I don't use it a lot. And that goes pretty good. I mean, if you have a lot of hills in your area and you're going downhill, regen is gonna be perfect for putting juice back into your battery. But I feel like it could be a little bit stronger. All right, now that we have been on this bike for roughly, I don't know, probably 6 miles, maybe 7 miles, our top speed is about 34, 35 miles per hour. All right, so we're gonna get a running start up this hill and we're gonna see how well it does. I mean, this is just a regular overpass. It should be able to do it no problem. Yeah, see, look at that. Like, yeah, we lost some speed. It's gonna happen to every e-bike unless you got a ton of power. But 31 miles an hour coming up this, come on, man, I can't complain about that. Definitely can't complain about that. All right, let me get some speed and try this variable regen. All right, so no brakes whatsoever. We're coming downhill and we're losing a mile per hour, so it's definitely working. And we're pumping juice back into the battery. I'm actually looking at the egg rider and it's 53.1, 53.2, 53.3. Yeah, so it was definitely going up as we were using the regen, so that's super cool. All right, so now I'm on the overpass coming back up and I wanna see how it's gonna do when we are at 0 miles per hour dead stop. We don't have a running start whatsoever. And let's just go. I think it's gonna do it no problem though. Oh yeah, look at that. Fantastic. It went up there no problem. Time to use our regen again. Man, that's a very nice feature so you guys can save your brakes and not have to change out brake pads all the time, because brakes on e-bikes, they're not difficult to replace at all. But when they go out, you always have to look up to see what fits your brake rotor and stuff like that. Once you know the part number, you're good. But trying to find parts that are in stock for brake pads on e-bikes is actually a little bit more difficult than you would think. I actually didn't think it was bad until I looked up stuff and like, oh yeah, this is out of stock. And then I had to go look for a different aftermarket kit that also worked with my brakes for another bike. So on flat ground, this bike is a dream to ride on. There's no complaints whatsoever. Like I said, a little bumpy when you're doing off-road stuff because no suspension in the back. We talked about that. But it's very comfortable. I feel like you wouldn't even want to replace this seat, but you could. I'm pretty sure one of these companies is going to make a seat for it and you can kind of customize it and do whatever you want. But I love this seat right now. All right, so going back to the brakes, we need to definitely test those out again because we did it in the dirt, but we didn't do it on flat pavement. So we're over 30 miles an hour right now. I'm gonna hit the brakes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these brakes, whatever they're using, I mean, they are hydraulic. They are from Logan. Okay, so I've had some e-bikes that had Logan brakes on there, and surprisingly, Logan makes some good hydraulic brakes. I don't know exactly what pads they have in there, but man, these things are working like phenomenally. One thing I did notice, if you guys can see this, I'm trying to get my GoPro in there the best as possible, but look how close this brake rotor is to the motor. Can you guys see that? This thing is almost literally touching that motor. I don't think that's going to be a problem in the long run, but that might limit your choices on doing some aftermarket brakes, just in case you do want to put the best of the best brakes on this bike, even though I don't think you need it. You might be limited on like some clearance issues back there. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about picking one of these bikes up. Woo! Hey! Oh man, that felt fun. Now right behind my phone that you guys probably can't see, you do have adjustable suspension. We'll pull over here real quick so you guys can see. So you can maneuver this if you want it to be stiffer or lock it out completely. I'm leaving it on the softest setting possible just because I like the nice, softest, comfortable ride I can get out of an electric bike because I got back issues. And then on this side, you can take this off and you should be able to fill it with air. So if you have an air compressor or a bike pump or something like that, if I can get this this little thing off. Don't want to lose that. They're going to question me when they take the bike back. Where'd this go? But yeah, so shredder valve right here so you can put air into it or you can take air out. But let's put that back like we never adjusted it. Another thing on this bike is that it has one of the biggest headlights I've actually ever seen on a bike. Even Canebill and the other company, Luminade, that I have a headlight for, it is not this big at all. This is a massive, massive headlight. I mean, my whole hand barely like fits the headlight. It's so big. And then you got your metal fenders right here. Pretty nice. I feel like these tires are good. They might be aired up a little bit too much for my preference because I mean I can't even flex these whatsoever. But still, 20 by 4 inch tires, so pretty big fat tires. I'm really liking these BMX handlebars, but I believe the final production bike is gonna actually have 2 inch shorter bars, so it's gonna be a little bit closer together. I technically like the wider bars unless I'm lane splitting or I gotta get through traffic and you don't have that much room in the bike lane. I can understand why going to shorter bars, but this feels good to me the way this prototype is. Now this button down here, this turns on the headlight on and off. I don't know if they're actually gonna have this on the actual model, if they're gonna keep that button right there or not, but that's basically how you turn the light on and off. They might change that. And I don't know if this is gonna be a factory option on this bike, but this is cool for like transporting all your your bags, your groceries. You just need some straps to like go through these holes and then you can just like wrap it around something and you can hold your stuff in the back. Like my backpack that I have on my back right now, I can put all that stuff on there if I wanted to. I just don't have any straps for it. But I'm wondering if this is gonna come factory on the bike because this is a nice addition. Another thing you might not think about too, the seat is big enough for 2 people if the first person sits very close to the front. But you can technically put an actual seat right here. I don't want to say it's made for everybody's weight and everything like that, but you can see that the frame does go out to here. So you can seriously have someone sit right here. Like I'm sitting on the bike right now. I can put my feet on the pegs and I could be sitting right behind someone. I would just need a pad because it's very uncomfortable to sit on the metal, but it's definitely doable. So I think that is such a cool feature if that's going to come on the actual bike when it's made. And then real quick, underneath the bike that you can never see it because this is blocking almost everything, you do have your brake light back here. And I'm really curious to know if the brake light works when you hit the brakes. Let me test that out real quick. Okay, so my lights are on and it looks like the brake light is not on right now. So probably an issue with this one since it's went through everybody and people have dropped it and everything like that. But definitely this isn't working. So I did not know that before I came on this ride. So I'm gonna have to be careful at night so people can see me. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I don't have a light in my backpack. But anyways, let's get to work. We got one more overpass to go up. Let's see how it does over that. And then we're pretty much gonna be riding at night after that. All right, we're in Squirrel City, so we gotta be careful. And why is there a random basket right in the middle of the trail? What the heck? Whoa. All right. So you have a perfect, nice walking path right here, but you have everybody walking out there on the main street where everyone does like 55 miles an hour. Why? I'm so lost. I mean, I guess it makes room for me in this fast electric bike because I am jamming. Right now we're doing about 33 miles per hour, so we still are losing some speed. I'm not exactly where our battery percent is at. We're gonna have to check that when I get to work. I did not bring a charger or anything like that. But I'm not worried about getting back home. We only have a 14-mile trip. 7 miles this way, 7 miles back. I probably did like, I don't know, 9 or 10 miles coming to work, so I was kind of roaming around a little bit. But we should be okay, I think. All right, another overpass. Let's see how it does. We got a running start. I mean, a pretty decent one, but we can see if the, you know, the motor's gonna struggle and pull back our power. But no, this bike is going up it like a champ. Still 30 miles an hour, over 30 miles an hour. Man, you guys are gonna love this bike if you live in like LA, San Francisco, where you got a bunch of hills you gotta go up to. Like, this is gonna be fantastic. You guys aren't even gonna be looking at the Super 73 e-bikes once you guys get on this and ride it. This is just absolutely fantastic. You know what? I'm not even gonna go to my work right now. I actually wanna keep riding this thing. Hey. Oh my God, this thing is so fun. I will say I don't trust these tires. I think I mentioned it earlier. I just don't trust these tires as well, just because I just don't feel like they have all the tread they're supposed to have on there. And I do feel like they can slip out at any point. What's up? So far, what a phenomenal bike, guys. It's so worth the money. But we still gotta go ride at night. So give me a little bit, gotta work for about 10 hours, and then we'll see how this light works in the front. I have high hopes for this light. You know, as a matter of fact, before we even get on the night ride, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Okay, yeah. Gives me an idea how it's gonna look at night, except no backlight, but it's all right. I figured that out. All right, that's cool. All right, I'll see you guys at nighttime.
You said it was 2,500?
Yeah, so 2,500 watts. So loud. 2,500 watts with a peak of 4,700. And to turn it on is the very top button right here. So you hold this on.
Okay.
And then you're good. And then right now, since it's a prototype bike, you have to turn on the headlights with this little switch.
Gotcha.
The headlight should be good. I have not tested out the headlight yet.
Oh,
But you see how big this is? Oh
There's
yeah.
another card over there too.
Okay.
Oh man.
We'll get them in a bit. All right, go test it out. Let me know.
Sweet. So just throttle?
No, so this is the regen throttle. You're never really gonna use it unless you're going downhill. It will put more power back into the bike. And then this is just gonna be your throttle.
Okay. Is it pedals activated as well?
No pedal assist on this one yet until the actual model comes out. Holy crap, that headlight is bright.
Surprisingly very stable over the bump. I cannot see. I'm frozen.
Is it because it's cold, huh?
Yeah. That, like you said, relating to the VTEC and like Hondas and stuff, once you get up to about 10, 12, it really gets going.
It does.
You know, that nice 10 to 12 going from 0 to 12, it's really smooth. And then like once you get up there, you just get going. But that's nice. I like that because you're not jerked back like some of the bikes.
Yeah, it's real nice and smooth.
Like, did
yeah.
you say your Onyx?
Yeah, it's bright,
Yeah, I
huh?
was like, I can't see.
The headlight
Your
is actually
Onyx will
bright.
just rev you off.
Oh yeah, the Onyx will just throw you off. But the thing is, with the Onyx, it's 72 volt. This is 52 volt, so it's a lower voltage. But it's a great,
I love
great
how
bike.
comfortable the seat is.
Did you go around the whole store?
Yeah, I took a ride.
Yeah, you just ditched me. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
I saw you coming back this way, and I was like, oh, he's coming, and then all of a sudden you just went around the store.
Well,
I was like, okay.
there was a truck, and I didn't want to blast past him.
Oh,
So
got
I was
it.
like, I'll just go around.
How fast do you think you got it up to?
Probably 32.
Okay.
I was like, the second I turned the corner, I was zooming.
It's nice, huh? Like,
Yeah, see, like that, if you did that on one of your other bikes,
yeah.
you're gone. You're done.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like that nice kind of like safety feature, I guess.
So what do you think? You rode the Super 73 when it was stock. And since this one is about the same price, it's actually $400 cheaper than an RX.
So
Which
the
one do you
Super,
think?
I remember was really good at maneuverability. It didn't feel janky. It felt really well built. And I felt like I could, just lean and zoom around those corners. This one, I feel like I have to put a little more steering into it. A little bigger tire, right, on this one?
I think they're actually the same, but it could be a different fork setup.
So.
And a different handlebar setup too.
Yeah, I remember that. Because I think the Super was a little easier and it felt a little more stable when you're just leaning, turning, and I didn't have to put as much arms into it. Like when I was doing a couple, little circles over there, I was like, oh, you know, I feel a little wobbly, but at the same time, this bike has lots of miles on it, right? Like you said, plenty of people have ridden this bike.
Yeah,
Still
it's been at all the expo events and stuff like that. So I don't know how many people have actually sat on that seat. Bunch of famous people, bunch of famous YouTube people. Ah, man, it's so loud.
Yeah, so really awesome. $3,100. I honestly actually am considering after.
It's not bad, huh?
Yeah. Next year, launch?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be at the end of this year, beginning of next year. Yeah, I think December, January.
I love it. I honestly like the manual light switch. I don't know why.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to have that on the final version, but it is going to have a 4-inch display, color display instead of that. So it might go right here, it might go right here. The bars are going to be 2 inches shorter, even though I don't really have a problem with how long the bars are right now.
No, I think it's fine.
So yeah, so if you had to pick between buying a Super 73 for 35 or picking this for 31, you'd probably
I would definitely choose this.
Go over this one.
You know, especially with the option for the double battery. You know, same price as Super 73 with the double.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And it has. Did those come with it?
Yeah, I believe they're gonna come with pegs. Yeah. The only thing I'm not sure of if it's gonna come with this or this is gonna be an extra accessory. I'm not sure, but I mean, if it's on there now, I figured the other one's probably gonna have it too. And that's sturdy too.
It is
You
sturdy, yeah.
can put a lot of stuff on there. Yeah, sit on it, test it
I'll
out.
hold it. I'll hold it.
Me? Yeah. No.
I was gonna say, put your feet on the pegs, go, go, go. Yeah, it's a pretty cool bike though. I'm glad they were able to lend it to me so I can check it out for 24
I hope
hours.
you
So
get one, and I'm able to ride it. Like I would love to take this on a ride with one of your other bikes.
yeah,
I would take this one. You take one of the other ones.
yeah. Hopefully
That'd be
they send us one to ride.
That would be awesome.
Well, thanks for riding it, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, John. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
no problem. All right. Some night riding footage, baby. Haven't seen nothing on YouTube for riding this bike at night, so now we can actually see how well this headlight works. It's definitely bright when my coworker rode it, and he said that was one of the most impressive things he's seen, because that's something he complains on about these e-bike companies, is giving you a little tiny light where you can't even see anything. And we're coming up to a section right here that's pitch black pretty much after this light. And wow, look at this light. If this is the light that comes on the actual model, this is beyond fantastic. This is something that you would pay to upgrade on your Super 73 and spend $150 to $200 on to get this type of light output. I feel like I'm a car. This seriously reminds me of my car. I can see so much, and I know you guys could probably see the exact same thing. This is amazing. And I hope you guys appreciated me trying to get people to ride this bike, because I really like to get people that are into e-bikes but don't actually have an e-bike, or they don't know too much about e-bikes, to kind of get their feedback on it. And you know, the companies are going to see these videos and they're going to kind of take some feedback from it. And what better way to get people on the bike that aren't really familiar with these? Look at this trail. Not a single light out here. Holy crap. This is amazing. The only thing we got to be careful is we have no brake light in the back. It does come with one, but for some reason it just wasn't working. So I said it earlier before we were coming on the trail. I actually didn't know it didn't work, and they didn't let me know that, but it's all good. This bike's been wrecked many times, so I think that's kind of why it probably got snugged or the wire ripped or something like that. All right, so I'm gonna be real with you guys. And if I had the choice between ordering a Super 73 RX at like $3,500 or ordering this thing with dual batteries for about $3,500, I'm gonna tell you right now that I would go with this bike. Hands down, I would go for this bike. I honestly think if you guys have a Super 73 RX right now and you don't really have a lot of money into it, like you didn't convert it to 72 volt, you didn't do anything crazy, you can get some decent money for those bikes. I see them going all day for about $3,000. That's actually how much I got mine used for, but mine only had like 30 miles or 35 miles on it. I would probably sell my Super 73 if it was not modified to get this bike. If I was just someone that didn't want to modify a bike too much, I'm not going to do a 72 volt, I'm not going to change out the controller or the battery or anything like that. I really think this is just a win-win for Lyric. I mean, you can't go wrong with this bike. I think the only complaint that I would have over this bike and the Super 73 RX, if we compare the two, is there's no suspension in the back. That's really the only biggest con. The seat's great. BMX handlebars, the speed, the torque you get. You can actually go uphill with this compared to the Super 73. Whoa, this changed. Holy crap. Wait, this is different. That was the road I used to take. Oh, they changed it now. Okay, now we're on this road. All right, new road, new terrain, got to get used to it. So I think what's going to help this company stay in the game is they need a huge aftermarket community. I think the reason why Super 73s are so popular is, first off, they look badass, just like this one. This thing looks badass too. But the thing is, Super 73 has a huge community around modifications. You can get every single part on that bike changed out. You can even get motor kits like I did on mine, which I went 72 volt. I feel like if companies get behind this and start having like headlight mods, which technically you don't need a headlight, but you know, maybe someone wants a different like projector headlight or something like that. Maybe they don't want all the little, you know, little LEDs in a headlight. I don't know, like you could just switch it up. Handlebars, suspension, tires, battery kits, you know, like custom motor kits and everything that like directly bolt onto this. That would change the game for this company, and it would make more of a community out of it with people talking about it, showing off their mods and doing stuff like that. So we'll see where this bike company lands at, but I feel like this is a bike I would buy. I ride so many bikes. I've been on, I don't know, 40 bikes or so. I've had to been on like about 40 bikes. And this is a bike I would actually go out and spend my money on. And if I didn't buy a Super 73 already, I would have bought this one instead. But another struggle for the company is you need people like me to tell you like, hey, this is a good bike. You know, you guys should buy it before buying a Super 73. Now, a lot of you guys might already have an e-bike. You might have a Super 73, and you guys might not go out and buy this because you already have one, and it's more of a hassle to, you know, try to sell your bike or something like that. Uh-oh. We just lost power, folks. We just lost power. Okay. I don't know where the battery's at. Uh-oh. I think we just killed the battery. And you know what? I didn't even bring the, oh God, we're gonna have to pedal this thing. Oh, this is not fun. Oh man, I got a long ways to go. This is actually probably the longest I've ever had to go. And we have no lights on whatsoever, so we gotta be careful. Oh my God, that sucks. Well, so the voltage and all that stuff doesn't work. So, yeah. They gave me a secondary battery. It's literally sitting at my house, but I seriously didn't think that I was gonna kill this bike. Ooh, I guess we can't be too rough on the crank because it is a belt. It's not an actual chain. But the good thing is, I can actually pedal this bike. I can't go that fast, but hey, I am doing 11, which isn't terrible. Hey, my headlight came back on. I wonder how long this headlight will stay on. At least I have a headlight. Some people can see me, at least. I mean, that was kind of close. I need to get over. Oh, my headlight went out. Are we the first one to kill the Lyric Graffiti e-bike? I think we might be the first people. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be so tired. By the time I get back, I'm gonna be dead. I might stay on this side too, just so I can see the traffic, and if I have to, I'll get back over. But this is gonna be a very long trip going back to the house. So give me a second, people, because I'm already tired. Oh, man, guys, it's a workout. I'm definitely not left stranded, but definitely a workout, and someone's gonna hit that cone. The other stuff I wanted to talk about was the X-Class and the Aerial Rider compared to this bike. Now, the X-Class goes what, like 35 miles per hour? This bike definitely beats its top speed. So if you're looking for a faster e-bike, this is the one. The X-Class is a bit cheaper though, so keep that in mind. But I would say I've rode the Aerial Rider and I've rode this, and I just wasn't very happy with the Aerial Rider. And I think the reason why is because I didn't like the fact that the bike peeled out. There was really no throttle control. It was like you barely tap it. 100% it was out. I didn't like that. This bike, you can maneuver the throttle back and forth, and you feel like you actually have a power band, so you can kind of give it how much power you want. And yes, I keep cutting back and forth between takes because I'm out of breath. At least I have the street to myself. It is like 1 in the morning roughly. All right, guys, we're almost there. So I'll talk to you when we get back to the house. All right, so we're back at my house. I only had to pedal like 3 miles. But anyways, they gave me a secondary battery. And let me see where this one's at. If I hold that button, nothing shows up. So I'm wondering if this one's dead too. Let me see. We'll see if we could switch it off really quick. Just like my ZX from Super 73. All right, we got that one in. Make sure that's in there good enough. Lock it so it's not gonna come out. And moment of truth. Dang, wait, hold on. Maybe there's a switch on here because normally there's a switch on these. There we go. Okay. So this battery's at 58.4 volts. I know you're probably not gonna be able to see the egg rider because the egg riders do not ever show up over a GoPro, but hey, it's back up and running. Let's make sure. Okay. So I didn't actually kill the actual bike, but definitely did not know where I was at on the battery. So that's pretty cool. But I do know that we only got 13 miles or 13 and a half miles before it cut off. You guys can probably go back in the video and see exactly when that happened. But yeah, we didn't get very far on it. Still fun regardless. And I would love to do another video on it, but we're definitely not taking it to work again, and they're gonna pick it up tomorrow. So hopefully you guys like the footage of the Lyric Graffiti e-bike. Fantastic. I'm in love with it. And it's funny, I was reading this little thing right down here, and it says pedal assist bicycle, and it says max power 500 watts, max load 350 pounds. And yeah, this only puts out 500 watts. That's exactly what I would tell a cop. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Be safe out there and check these out. I'll leave links in the description. See you guys next time. Later.